Transmitting to you from Old Heart Radio.
All right, so I think we're recording. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I believe this is another episode. Gotta stop saying that. I know it is. This is another episode of Matinee Edition, number 38, I believe.
Or perhaps.
Perhaps. I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Getting close, man. We're getting close to 40. Like,
yeah. Hey, 50's the big one.
50's the big one. I hope people give us like, nice gifts on for our 50th.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, so quarantine edition. We're still zooming and whatnot. Man, yeah, not like a lot of like movie, like good movie.
Only sad stuff. Only delays.
Although there is one positive that I recently found, and that was like the drive-ins are making a comeback. A little
sweet.
Bit.
Hell yeah.
I
think drive-ins are great.
Dude, drive-ins are so fucking fun. Like I understand that like there's like a slim, small little place for them in the modern market because everybody just wants to stream Netflix. But like there's going to the drive-ins like an experience, man. It's all about like the experience of it, and it's
dude.
Fun to
you go to a drive-in, you go and just hang out with your friends, chill out. Everybody shares some concessions.
Boom.
Listen to it on the speakers.
You try to stay up late enough for the double feature.
There's a place for all of it, dude.
It's fantastic.
This goes back to the Scorsese thing from like when Joker came out.
No, it's so true though. There's a place for all
streaming
of it.
Streaming should be the place for the like artsy shit. You're still paying for it. It's still getting some money put down. But then you got your blockbusters, which is a whole other experience to go and watch like an Avengers-esque movie. Yo. And then you go to the drive-in for a fun like communal date night, The
drive-ins should really strive for that the nostalgia market. They could be like where all the old movies get played, like the 80s movies, the 90s movies,
totally.
Keep blockbusters in the theater to make AMC happy. And
let's put that on a t-shirt. Keep blockbusters in the theater. Matinee edition. That's the second piece of merch.
Dude, we need it. I was joking around with my friend Mojo Jojo. And she was about the whole hot dog thing.
Yeah.
And, we discovered that we should really make like a members only jacket. That's just like a hot dogs only jacket.
That's fantastic.
Just like like an exclusive club for like real listeners.
There you go.
We only every new listener we ship one out. We need 3 dedicated listeners right now. We'll give you members only jackets.
Yeah. Start a poll.
Start a fucking poll.
Do a raffle. Hey, if there's another good set of news, you mentioned to me before we recorded that Amazon Prime picked up a bunch of movies from what was supposed to be premiering at South by Southwest.
Yeah.
I listened to something about that. And South by Southwest, for those that might not know, it's a huge convention for music, tech, and film. And a lot of independent filmmakers, it's like their first shot to get this stuff screened. And if it succeeds there, they get offered more screenings.
Yeah, so it's actually a really big deal for independent filmmakers.
Yeah, if they don't make it to South by, realistically, they're not going to make any money from those films. So it's good that Amazon's at least putting them out there.
Yeah, to put into perspective, if I'm correct on this, Kevin Smith's movie Clerks debuted at South by Southwest.
Yeah,
and it that's what launched it into the bigger stratosphere, and that's what made it, basically gave him a career eventually. And so that's what I mean, like people really do like these like festivals like South by Southwest and other specific movie festivals really fucking matter to like small filmmakers.
Hey, Get Out premiered at South by.
Dude, exactly, man. And and that arguably Get Out arguably sparked
Sparked.
sparked like a renaissance in horror. Like,
Oh yeah.
like,
And,
it was like all of a sudden like
horror.
people were like, oh my god, horror movies can be good again.
Yeah. It's not just Final Destination and Saw. My God.
Oh my god, dude. And it took us out of a Saw hole, dude.
Dude,
like the Saw movies started
Saw's coming
off,
back.
oh yeah, thanks to Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson, actually.
Wait, Samuel Jackson's in that shit?
Yeah, both of them. Chris Rock is responsible for that like almost entirely.
I remember hearing about Chris Rock, but I had no idea Samuel Jackson was in it.
Yeah, he got Jackson involved in it. Apparently,
Dude,
they're both really big fans of the fucking series.
I'm confident that's gonna be like a parody movie of Saw.
Oh my god, dude! I hope
These
hope it's a
Saws out of my motherfucking bathroom.
I hope it's a serious. I hope they do a serious, like, good job with it, because it'd just be really interesting. I had no idea that Chris Rock had would have. I had no. I hadn't even thoughts on like the fact that Chris Rock would have been like interested in Saw, because like I'm not interested in Saw anymore. I can't imagine like I just like can't picture
that Jigsaw movie that came out like 3 years ago. No one was fucking interested in that.
Yeah, I thought about getting stoned to laugh and to watch it to laugh at it once, and then I was like, nah, I'm just gonna watch a rock movie.
No, yeah, exactly. Go watch Pain and Gain.
Go watch Skyscraper.
Oh God, did you ever watch Skyscraper?
I did, stoned, and it was really bad.
Dude, Skyscraper, and this brings up a whole other thing with film. Like, we're, if you can't tell, Americans.
We are American.
Woo.
Whoa.
The Skyscraper was a huge international film. Wildly popular, wildly critically acclaimed. It just shows how like the digestibility of different films is so different in different nations.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like, it's just, yeah, it is. It's just like, I don't know. It's wild how like you really can't. I don't know. Just because just because you laugh at a movie does not mean that like the rest of the world did not take that movie seriously.
Dude, there's
it's like the Fast and the Furious movies, dude. Like that. I mean,
it's so easy to digest. You know?
They're so easy to digest, and there's like, and tons of people around the globe like take those movies.
Dude,
like,
Furious 7, when Paul Walker died, it was like everybody went out to watch Fast and Furious.
Yeah, like they're like, I'm gonna pay my tribute, you know?
Yeah, pretty much. I remember going and watching that shit, and like 3 grown men around me crying at the end. Like, at least,
and took the ride.
the fucking at the end of it, when they're driving off and like the roads part,
yeah,
there's Paul Walker's car goes into the sunset.
I'm tearing up, not because of the sad, because I'm laughing so hard.
But dude, and like I will say, it was a really sweet goodbye, all things considered, for a Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah,
it was very well done.
But they took it like so serious. I mean,
these
like,
dudes were like, man, it's getting me. It's getting me.
It's like, I mean, you know, I guess no hate. I can't hate on somebody for you know, really.
Hey,
really
that's coming from a dude though. I watched Onward the other day.
Oh yeah.
It's on Disney Plus. Dude, it's fucking good. Pixar still got it, man.
Yeah, Pixar's always been on it.
I got choked up at the end of that movie.
Nice.
It is a very like Pixar-y ending. And
yeah.
It hits you right in the feels. Even if you're one of those dudes, it's like, man, it's just like this. It's kids movie. Everybody said that about Up.
Oh, I'm built Ford tough. I'm not gonna cry. I still have never seen Up. I gotta be honest with you on that one.
Up's a great movie, but the first 10 minutes are the best part of Up.
Yeah, like, I mean, I've just heard that movie is like really. I mean, I've heard it's really good, but I've heard it's also sad. Like,
it's amazingly sad, but it's like it walks that line of like the Pixar like melancholiness of everything, you know.
Which is honestly one of the brilliant things of that they've always brought to the table is that they've brought these like really entertaining. They make these entertaining movies that do pull at like certain emotions, you know.
Yeah.
And I think very specifically, like they try to make movies
Well, it's
geared
like-
towards certain emotions, you know.
Well, it's like we got the comical action and the funny quips to keep the kids engaged, but then the dialogue and the characters are smart enough that the adults in the environment can still enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
and
and that is especially true at the beginning of Up. I mean,
Interesting.
fuck. Like,
And you said, is that the same with? That's a little bit of the same with the Onward or whatever.
yeah, it's a bit. It definitely leans a bit more kiddie for some of the runtime, but like not in a bad way. It's not one of those movies that like, oh, this is for kids. I can't fucking watch this.
Yeah,
It's not like Minions. It's still very smart and well made.
fair enough.
But but like you get to the end and the characters are really well developed, and there's this. It's two brothers whose dad died when they were kids.
Yeah,
And they live in this weird sort of like, it's like the mystical world, and like there were wizards and everything.
Mhm.
And it's totally satire of our own. Like magic was there, but then people realized it would just be easier to like stop using their wings if they were like a fairy, stop using their wings and just hop on an airplane because they'll get there faster. And like they
the
stopped
modern
having
convenience.
yeah, they stopped having to use their wands, and they would just because somebody invented the light bulb, and now like no one knows how to use magic anymore.
Oh man, yeah, that's interesting though.
Yeah, it's a very interesting setup for a film, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's on Disney Plus. So
Nice.
I think
I
that
read.
thing was in theaters for like 3 weeks before shit hit the fan, and then they just threw it on Disney Plus. So
Yeah, that was one of those movies, like one of the only movies that I think like really popped out like immediately from theaters to streaming. Like I think Disney
Yeah.
was just like, this just needs
cut
a
their losses,
yeah.
right? People
Yeah.
will pay for a month of Disney Plus because it's cheaper than getting 2 movie tickets to watch something like that, unless you're going like $5 Tuesday.
Fair enough. I read that they haven't even aired the Mandalorian season 2 yet, but I've read that Disney Plus has plans for Mandalorian season 3.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, so it sounds like that train's going, but it sounds like a lot of their other programs have been forced, like a lot of other things, to be halted or stopped.
Yeah.
Like Sebastian Stan from Captain America and the Winter Soldier
Yeah.
said that something to the effect of like they had still had like a few weeks of shooting left, so they sound like they were close,
Yeah, I mean, like Loki just started filming too, so
yeah. So I mean, I was thinking about Disney Plus the other day though, because it's like interesting that they just recently launched. They're really already like, people were already kind of looking at it as like, well, what do you really bring into the table in terms of new content?
yeah, and it was
after
just
the
the
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian, which
And
now
they
Clone
can't do
Wars.
anything,
Have you been working your way through Clone Wars?
A little bit, yeah. I've still
Yeah.
been kind of chipping away at it. But like, yeah, I mean, they unleashed the last season of that.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's like they're not in a good position now to like really
No.
be popping, like be looking even forward to their content, like, because it's like, when's it all gonna even get like fucking done?
and then like a bunch of shit came off Disney Plus too.
Yeah,
Like, it's like, what are you guys doing?
well, that's what I mean. Like, it's like,
No
I don't
wonder
know.
they greenlit more of the Mandalorian. They need to keep people excited.
Well, yeah, I think that's what they're running into. Honestly, they're just like, they gotta make sure they every now and then sprinkle some sort of excitement out there to like keep people interested. Because like everybody else, all the other major streaming platforms like do it right. They have their regular.
I will say if there's
they have
one
regular
thing-
systems down now. Netflix
Yeah.
is popping out shit every fucking day. It seems like.
Yeah,
There's a
I
new
will
fucking
say,
series.
like the one thing that Disney Plus does have going for it is I've realized the week by week structure. There is actually some merit to that. Like the binging bubble is gonna pop, and it's gonna go back to that.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I think you're kind of right. I think the binging bubbles, it's not going to last much longer.
It keeps stuff in the conversation for so much longer. Like
Yeah.
season 3 of Stranger Things was great, but it disappeared from like the paradigm of media so quickly because everybody binge watched it.
Yeah, well, exactly. And I mean, like platforms like HBO, they've been doing weekly episodes for a while now. Like Game of Thrones is a weekly thing.
Yep.
And I think you're right. I just think that you need to give people a little bit of opportunity to like I don't know, just like space it out. As soon as the season's
Choose your
done,
poison.
you know, as soon as the season's done or whatever, pop the whole thing, make sure the whole thing's
Yeah.
up and ready to go. But like, you know,
But like
space it
watching
out.
through The Mandalorian as like week by week, it's like, oh fuck, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, well,
What's
and that's
gonna
part
happen?
of that's part of the charm. Is that like, you know, it's like the same thing with comic books. Like you wait for your next fucking issue. It's just like
Oh yeah.
it like makes you just like sit there and wonder like, oh man, what the fuck is coming next? Like, you know, and
Yeah.
you just champing waiting for the next fucking thing. So
And
it's kind of smart.
It can lead to just like people getting super excited. Think of a more dramatic example: the year between Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah,
Like, there you go.
the hype that entire year, man.
That
Like,
was fucking wild.
Yeah.
Like we just passed. We're like on a year since Endgame release too, which is wild to think of.
yeah, dude. I still haven't watched Endgame yet since quarantine, since lockdown. But
Dude,
I've been tempted.
Me and Kate rewatched all the James Bond films of the Daniel Craig era,
Okay,
but Spectre, because it's shit. And then we watched The Hangover last night.
Oh, I just recently rewatched that.
It's like I was like, oh goddamn. The last time I watched The Hangover, I was like 12. So
Yeah, I definitely like. I rewatched it because it was one of those things. It sparked like a huge, sort of re-interest in comedy, specific types of comedy movies, and you know the subsequent like sequels they went way too extreme, or they tried to go too big. You know, they were forced to, like, because you start here, you have to exactly, and so. I don't know, but the first one, I was still just like, at the end of it, I was like, I probably won't watch it again for a while. I still love Zach Galifianakis.
Oh, he's
like,
so funny.
He's still just like so funny in that.
Dude, they're all so funny.
They are.
I think Bradley Cooper's a prick, but he's fucking funny in that movie.
Yeah, and that movie gives us Bradley Cooper, man. Like, that movie arguably launched Bradley Cooper into the spotlight.
Oh yeah, totally.
Because up until then, I think he was just like doing like little fucking shit movies, and maybe like that movie He's Just Not That Into You. He had a bit.
Oh, he was in that.
He was in that movie.
Oh,
that's
God.
like the only other thing I remember him from besides The Hangover. And
I feel like he would have been
Marvel
on like
stuff.
a bunch of like TV soap operas.
Yeah, he was a soap star.
Yeah, I can totally see it. Like Margot Robbie.
Dude, you got to start somewhere. I mean,
start somewhere.
Margot Robbie though. I think she said it in her Hot Wings thing. She's talking about that soap opera gig that she had. That was like,
oh yeah.
Basically, it was like that enabled her to go to America to try to make it, and they basically were like, they wrote her character out or whatever was like in a way that like she could come back basically and reprise the role if it didn't work out. I was like, that's fucking dope, man.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the benefit of soaps.
I liked what she said about the soaps too, that she it helped her like attain a level of skill that made her digest information really quickly and be able to go really quickly between like learning lines, learning the set, and performing fast.
Which I bet is really it probably takes a while to hone that skill, honestly.
Dude, like whenever I go to Brazil with my family, because like for listeners, half my family is Brazilian and most of them live down there. So we go down there and every night everybody sits around the TV, watches the telenovelas. It's that type of shit. And there's 4 of them on a night on one channel, and it's a new episode 5 days a week.
Which is insane, dude.
How the fuck does production work?
That's what I mean. Like, that shit's fucking crazy. I think about like churning out a fucking podcast every day of the week, and I'm like, oh my god, dude, that's like, I don't like the editing is daunting. Like, you know, but so like doing that whole production, like that. Fuck, dude, it's gotta be
fucking wild. It's like they do like for 30 weeks in a year. There's like 100 episodes.
Shit's insane, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit's wild.
Have you been rewatching anything?
A little bits here and there. Like I've been, let's see, what have I been keeping up on? I as always, I honestly always rewatch like random fucking episodes of The Office. So I've been I've been having that go in the background. I've recently rewatched. I've been kind of catching up on Legend of Korra. I'm still in the first season though.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, for sure.
Quick recommendation: you got to watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh yeah, I I do watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It is, dude. It's just like good comedy. It's just fun comedy. It's like
it feels like the logical progression of like, okay, The Office ended. This is where it goes.
I think I read some sort of like weird fan thing that was like based on it was like based on the coffee machine that you see in The Office and the coffee machine that you see in Brooklyn, an episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. This fan was like, I bet they're in the same universe. And I'm like, do you know how fucking
a ton of the Office like actors have made like small cameo roles on Brooklyn Nine-Nine too.
Yeah, that's one of the cool things I like to see about like from the Office stars now. It's like, you know them exact from the Office, but it's really cool to see those side characters that really haven't popped up in anything else pop up in these little bit comedy roles. And you're just like, I don't know. It's just like it's really fucking cool to see them. Like Angela, the lady that plays Angela, has been like popping up in more episodes. Like she's just started a side role in this show on Netflix now called Black as Fuck.
Oh, I heard about that show.
Yeah, it's really it's really cool actually. By Kenya Harris, I think Kenya Harris is the name of the guy that makes it. But she has like a bit role in there. The person I want to see them more of though is the guy that played Kevin in The Office.
Oh, totally, dude.
Yeah. Like that dude was always fucking hilarious to me.
He pops up from time to time, but definitely not as much.
Dude, one of the like the scenes from The Office that I can always turn to and get a laugh out of is when he fucking beefs it with his huge thing of chili. He's like walking up the stairs and talking about it's like heartbreaking and sad, but so funny in the moment because you're just like, this is like a total Kevin moment. Oh yeah. But like there's a shot of him though when he's like trying to scoop it back up. And he has like a folder or something, and he's like using like somebody's folder to try and like scoop the chili back into the fucking pot. And it's like, dude, it's a lost cause, man.
Did you ever I'm forgetting his name. It's the same dude who's in The Office and The Hangover. The dentist guy.
Oh, Ed Helms. Yeah,
Ed Helms. What he showed up on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, that was fucking hilarious.
Oh shit!
He was the post office cop.
Oh fuck!
He was like, do you remember that?
No, I don't know if I've seen that episode. I can't remember.
It's not like a spoiler or anything, but he shows up as like the investigator for the United States Postal Service.
Nice.
And he's like, Peralta's walking in. It's like, oh, this guy's name is Detective Danger. And that's fucking awesome. They walk in. He's like, Mr. Danger, it's great to see you. My name's actually Donger. It's Dutch. And it's just this, he's only in that episode, and it's totally a bit about him being out of touch because he's working for the Postal Service. It's like, hey, just text me the location. I'm like, no, I'm gonna mail it to you.
Put it in the fucking snail mail. Yeah, dude, Ed Helms is one of those characters, one of those actors that like he's had a little more. Definitely. I think like attention, like he's like Krasinski. He's he's like escaped the Office role a little bit more.
Yeah, I feel like The Office. A lot of the actors in The Office, they have ended up having like the Luke Skywalker problem.
Definitely.
That's why Mark Hamill is voice acting. It's because everybody looks at him and it's like, fuck, it's Luke Skywalker.
Exactly, dude. Like some people some roles you just end up.
That's gonna be a character role.
Yeah. That's the danger. Look at what Robert Downey Jr. is fucking facing now, dude. Like, I mean, no hate on
Yeah, every time I look
Jr.,
at him, I think of Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, dude. I'm waiting for that.
That's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing that happens with Jude Law, dude. I just think of him as Watson, you know. But no,
I think of him as the dude from Captain Marvel. I don't even remember. Yon-Rogg.
God, dude, he was like
he's Dumbledore, right?
I don't really care for Jude Law like that much. I don't really have no hate for him, but like he definitely is like a lackluster actor. Like he doesn't ever I'm never thrilled to see him in anything. I'm like, okay, so I think
he's done a few TV roles that are pretty cool. But like he's like walking the line of being like a good actor in movies, but he hasn't really proved himself yet.
No, dude, I think back 10, 15 years ago, even he was like looked at as like a really like, I mean, he was basically looked at as like a handsome guy in Hollywood. And that's like, that's how British dude. Yeah. And that's how he started. That's how, like, that was his role. And well, somebody had to take it over from Hugh Grant after the whole like hooker scandal, and so you know, so here comes Jude Law. But like the thing is, like the dude is never like the greatest actor,
No,
and so he's never improved.
there's a video about Jude Law on YouTube where it was a dude who made his like passion project was to make this short film and use it as like a proof of concept to eventually make a movie. And he made a video about how to like get like an A-list celebrity in your short film with no budget. And he was like, you make it, you do everything, and then you don't film the last scene. And in that last scene, you introduce a compelling, interesting, completely unfleshed out character that could set up a future project. And then you try your best to get in touch with someone. And he ended up getting in touch with Jude Law. So at the end of this short film, like the last shot is Jude Law going, "We're gonna need tech support." Like, and it's like
shot.
But yeah, that's it. And they filmed it in like 20 minutes.
And then, well, but that's the thing. Like, I mean, like art and like, yeah, there's like Jude Law's star power alone, like leads that whole like short film to be able to like to somebody like some director's fucking doorstep, you know?
Oh, totally.
And so, yeah, that's interesting though. That's
it's an interesting thing to think of.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I really don't like, I'm looking forward to not seeing him in any future MCU movies. I guess
he's coming back, dude. Come on.
No, you don't think so?
I hope so. I don't dislike Jude Law.
His character is just so like his character was not important at the end of that movie. Like, dude, you know,
somebody could a lot of people. I'm not like anti-feminist or whatever. I think it's fucking great. I thought Wonder Woman's a great movie. Captain Marvel is just like, you can make the argument that after Captain Marvel wasn't an important character.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like the Captain Marvel movie, I don't think it was like the Marvel. Let's see, Iron Man 2 is still a lamer movie than Captain Marvel. Like,
okay, that's fair.
But like, I don't know. Like, I think what the cool thing about that movie is that it presents you the character like a character to play with in the future, and I think they can grow on the character that they started off with in that movie. But yeah, I mean, I don't think like, I don't know.
Dude, bring back Yon-Rogg. I don't think he's that bad.
I don't know. He's just not a compelling like villain or antagonist, you know?
Dude, how many? There's like two compelling villains.
At the end of that movie, Captain Marvel was able to go up to him and just like kick him across the desert. Like,
that was the fucking highlight of that movie. That shit was funny.
That really was. I did think like that's what that movie was good at. It had these moments where you knew something was about to happen, and then it turned out to be like a comedy moment, and you're like, fuck yeah, dude. Like,
here's my one thing with Captain Marvel, and this is something. It's what made Wonder Woman so good. It's not even like a female superhero thing. This is any superhero thing. There needs to be the moment where the hero becomes truly a hero. And Robert Downey Jr., when he flew back into the Middle East and saved that village, that was that moment for him as Iron Man. Mm-hmm. For Wonder Woman, it was when she stormed No Man's Land and then went and liberated the town in like France.
Yeah.
That was a fucking badass moment. Captain Marvel totally didn't have anything like that. So,
well, sort of though. I mean, she helped the Kree, but she helped basically like keep those Skrull families from being murdered at the end there.
Still though, I mean, like,
I don't know, dude. It's not the worst. I'll say
for the audio listeners. I shrugged.
I don't know. Like, I don't think it has like the most rewatchable qualities to it for
Absolutely.
sure. Like,
it's like me and Kate are talking about watching through the MCU, and I think we're gonna go like chronological in timeline order, not chronological release order.
Yeah, so you got to start with Captain America, First Avenger, and then jump to Captain Marvel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no, we're gonna go real order. We're gonna watch the post-credit scenes from some shit early.
Dodging around, dude. I mean, that's dedication, though. That's
dedication. If we run out of stuff, we're not there yet.
But the MCU, man, like that's a whole other thing. Like that machine even has been put on halt for this whole fucking thing.
They pushed everything back one release slot, right?
Pretty much. it seems like there's still. I have like ever faithful CBR, man.
Oh boy.
I found like they have it set up here that says Spider-Man 3 is now set for November 5th, 2021.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Right?
remember seeing that.
And then Spider-Man Spider-Verse is October 2022. And like Doctor Strange is actually going to be March 25th, 2022.
No, you forgot the subtitle. The Multiverse of Madness.
Madness.
Yeah, put some reverb on that. Put some reverb and some echo.
And it looks like the only one that really kind of got like Thor Ragnarok.
Thor. Love and Thunder?
No, yeah, Love and Thunder, not Ragnarok. My bad. That one got moved up like a week early, so it's like that's still coming out in February though, in 2022. So like I don't know, maybe that was
Whatever.
they're throwing that out there for like some good news. Like this one's a week early in 2 years.
Can't wait.
But like that, I mean, it's interesting though because like I said, you know, everything is being affected, including these big like from small filmmakers from you know, trying to get their movies screened at South by Southwest to the big budget blockbusters. You know,
dude, even the Avatar live action series got the production got stopped.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that is happening, honestly. But every time I remember that it's happening, I'm like, oh shit, I'm fucking stoked. Like,
okay,
I'm excited to see how they. I'm really hoping that they don't fuck it up. I'm really excited to see what they do.
Here's my one thing. Animation lends itself to a very specific style of action, and you can do crazy shit and make it not break the extent of disbelief for your viewer.
Yeah,
that changes in live action. So I'm thinking like the final fight with Ozai. I want to see. I'm excited to see that because that fight could get really fucked up.
Yeah, well, because that fight's big, dude. That fight's is
big.
It's so intense and like and they're like flying around between these rocks and stuff. Like it's huge. Like just the scope of that alone. Yeah, You're right. Like I can't right now in my head picture a live action version of that very well. Like
even in like really like high budget films, shit like that can get janky. The best example we've seen of it is probably Infinity War when Thanos threw the fucking moon and Iron Man and the Guardians.
Oh yeah.
And they were flying around the stuff. That's the closest thing that I could imagine to that sequence, and they did it for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, and so like trying to like capture that whole like fight.
The Ozai fight is like 2 episodes long.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking.
It's like a Dragon Ball Z fight.
Intense. Yeah, that'll be like that would be. I don't know. Like I that's a good point. I wonder how they're going to be able to pull it off. Like those, you know, the smaller fights in like the basic moves of the bending, I think will be really.
Those are very rooted in reality.
Yeah, in various martial arts and even like.
Hopefully they up the CGI budget from the Shyamalan one. Remember the Earthbenders like doing the really intense like movements, and then the single little rock floating in front of them.
Well, that's what I was just about to say. Is like I feel like they finally have gotten to a point where like they can pull off some good CGI without really breaking the fucking like budget. So
yeah, totally.
You know, hopefully that fucking works. Otherwise, this will be the last attempt at live action bending we'll ever see.
But honestly, like in watching, like I finished Legend of Korra. Nice. In finishing that and thinking to myself, like, okay, they're going to be doing the live action one. I immediately thought like they should just make another animated show about a different Avatar.
Yeah, that would be preferred, I would say. Like,
well, I'm not going to complain about getting more of it.
Not going to complain,
dude. I'm not going to complain. I'm fucking funding them. I bought myself an Appa Funko Pop. Like,
nice.
Dude, I paid $10. Appa's my dude.
Appa's my dude. I really want to get like a Studio Ghibli inspired sleeve, but I want to put in a couple of little Avatar things, and Appa is like a character I want to put in there, like flying around.
Oh yeah, totally.
Because like that, dude, Appa's like such a fucking, and just the design of that the sky bison is so fucking cool.
Oh yeah, and I think and it's actually really smart of them when it comes to making this fictional world to just combine a bunch of things that we already know of
Definitely.
You don't have to introduce people to these animals. We look at a hippo cow and we're like, oh, it's a hippo cow.
Yeah, well, and it
Sweet.
makes it more fun because I think the viewer is just sort of like, oh, like no, that's what these two animals
Hey.
combined might look like.
Yeah, it's just it's like dumb fun, but then from a technical level, you don't have to explain what everything is.
Yeah, which is super nice because that means like that's airtime, that's script space, that's just like
Oh yeah,
that's more dialogue that you have to put in there like by somebody explaining it. So
yeah.
I don't know, like
And dude, the Legend of Korra was fucking solid. So through most of it,
it's what 4 seasons, right? It's
four
solid
seasons, and the seasons are like half the length of Avatar seasons. So or like 3/4 or so of the length.
Man, yeah, like it's a really cool series. I wonder if do you think if the live action Avatar would be successful, they'd branch off into like a live action Korra, or do you think that'd be like too far?
No, I don't think so. I would prefer actually the one time period I really want now is for them to bridge the gap between the two. Give us like adult Aang.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. Like that would be super cool.
Like fill that space where there were the few flashbacks in Legend of Korra.
Yeah, you only see him like a few times throughout that series.
Like that's the one time we see adult Sokka. I want to know what Sokka did. Also, there's a huge theory in season 3. I don't know, you're in season 1 of Legend of Korra right now.
Yeah, I've watched it all like a handful of years ago.
You know the Metal Clan in the middle of nowhere with with Toph's other daughter.
Yeah,
that's the big theory, is that's Sokka's kid.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And then even like to such a point, this is pushing it for me, but that there's like the character design for the sons, they're all the same. It's all just riffs on Sokka's base design.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. It's weird, man. I was that came up and recommended on YouTube for me, and I was like, intriguing.
Yeah, that's bizarre. But you're right though, dude. Like I think I don't think anybody would be pissed off about about a series like showcasing their adult adventures,
Yeah, and then even if they were to push back and do like just do some unknown Avatar, like that'd be sick.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, okay. So Legend of Korra, what we kind of talked about this, but what ended up being your favorite storyline or season or whatever?
Definitely the Red Lotus set of episodes with Zahir. He was fucking badass,
dude. So badass. Like, and
there was the scene where the one episode where Zahir and the lava bender dude.
Oh yeah,
like, the Red Lotus members, they like stormed the air temple with all the new airbenders. That episode was fucking awesome,
dude. Like those cats, like themselves, are just like extremely powerful benders, man. Like it was insane to like at first to like see them in action.
The water girl only got taken out when she got lightning bended.
Yeah, right.
The lava dude killed himself. Because he didn't want to go back to prison.
Yeah, which is fucking intense, like Killmonger, man. Like,
dude, yeah, the combustion bender chick got her head exploded in what I thought was a really graphic moment for a Nickelodeon show.
Dude, the whole combustion bending thing is like fucking intense,
So I saw something about like where the lava bending comes from. Mm-hmm. It's only like benders that have a parent that's a fire and an earth bender.
Interesting. That's fucking cool.
So it's the combination there, which is why Bolin can do it too.
That's super cool, dude. I actually really like that idea. Like they're like the genetic parent makeup, kind of blend.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
It's fucking dope. Yeah, that's a really cool season. What's the name of the guru that Zahir studied?
Oh,
that, I can't
remember.
Know,
but the one where he learned to fly.
Yeah, so like this, but like
wild.
I love the story of this guru that he studied in order to learn that ability. But the guru supposedly spent the last 40 years of his life, 40 fucking years, just floating, like never touching the ground again. Like,
and Zahir's a fucking badass.
Yeah. Well, it just made me kind of think a little bit too, to like if you finally got the ability to fly, like, would you ever want to put that shit down? Like,
absolutely not.
I mean, I wonder how like the second Zahir finally was able to fly, like, was he just like, oh my god, I'm fucking free?
Dude, there was that episode, and dude, the lead up to him flying, it was like he watched his girlfriend die, the combustion bender, and then he knocked Korra unconscious with an airbending attack, and then jumped off a cliff.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck.
Shit's intense, dude.
Also, in that last episode of that season where Korra's in the Avatar state chasing him, and she's got like the chain on one arm.
Oh yeah,
she's jumping around. She's jumping around like the Hulk. It's wild. Like she's hitting the ground, launching herself with earthbending, and then flinging herself further with firebending, chasing Zahir, who's just flying around. I was like, this is fucking epic.
Yeah, dude. Well, and again, like kind of like that Ozai battle. Could you imagine that pulled off like live action right now?
I can. Like, yeah. I can imagine it to a regard, but I can't imagine it not looking a bit weird.
Yeah, well, because, and I actually, this is like a weird like not really a segue, but kind of like similar to those recent Superman movies. There are movies involving Superman. Totally. It's just too much, right now. It just seems like they haven't gotten like a good.
I feel like Man of Steel, like the fight between Zod and. Oh god, I just burped. That's gross.
And Superman.
The fight between Zod and Superman. That scene's not bad to me. What really is too off-putting is that the just amount of carnage.
Yeah, fair enough. That still is like the thing that sticks out the most. But I think it's hard to keep up with the pace of that.
Yeah.
Which is sort of like similar to what you'd have to do with like those like final battles. I think in some of the Avatar movies,
you can hit a point where it becomes Michael Bay.
Yeah.
Like
for sure. And you did
like
that's when you know you've gone too far.
Yeah.
Also, I gotta say, after the last episode of that we recorded, I have to like eat my own fucking words. Zack Snyder definitely directed Man of Steel.
Yeah,
I like looked that up like right away after. I was like, I should have fucking just like looked it up while I was talking.
I was gonna say you're going through that, and I was like, this is like contrary to popular belief. I don't know. Is this one of those like Mandela effect things where people keep saying it?
You didn't know this, but actually the Earth is flat too. So.
Oh god. The Earth is flat and I'm moving to Joe Exotic's.
I just had to address that really quick. I was just like, oh fuck, dude, I can never live that down if I don't bring it up. Yeah, dude. So like that shit, that The Legend of Korra takes the whole Avatar story in a really like interesting direction from that first series.
I feel like the only big problem with Legend of Korra is that it falls into the Captain Marvel trap, where it focuses so much on that main hero. They are the force moving the world.
Yeah.
When I feel like in Avatar, just because it's a point in comparison, Aang is sort of the interesting character moments in Avatar come from him having to deal with the realities of the world that he's in.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that's my only thing. And that's like nitpicking at best. It's just a good show that came after a great show.
Yeah. And I mean, like, you have a little bit of sense of that when, like, at the very beginning of Korra, when she first goes to Republic City and so is starting to learn the environment.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. After that, it becomes a show about like her as like a force, of the world, basically, like going through the world. And I
feel like the most interesting things that come out of Legend of Korra are the progressions of the world. And and it's like my biggest disappointment after finishing that, I was just like, oh, that was cool. But then a day later, I was like, they never went to the Fire Nation. Like, I really wanted to see what happened with the Fire Nation after. Like they demilitarized, it seemed. Like they briefly have Zuko's daughter talking about, like, and she's like, I'm not gonna fight another war. We've spent so much time at war, we're done with that.
Yeah.
Like what's the deal there? I would have loved to see that.
Yeah, because I mean, like, exactly, like something like that. Like it would be really interesting to dive into, because they just hint at the idea that this like militarized nation has like decided to sort of like become like a force for like almost like pacifism in a way, where they're just like, they're not going to take up arms, right? It's like, it's like, it's really like, there's just elements of the world that you would have loved to have explored more.
Also, the fucking the lesbian relationship at the end, like between Korra and the Asami.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I guess I saw something about that because I was just curious afterwards of like, was this like, am I missing something here? And supposedly Nickelodeon was a bit like, granted that was like 2014, Nickelodeon was a bit like, hey, you can't really like push this on too hard. And
You
I was
can't
like,
lay it on too thick.
yeah, you can't lay it on too thick. I mean, like it totally could fly now, but then
Yeah.
I can understand like it with context, but then at the same time, I was just like, it's a bit. Why do it?
Yeah, it seemed
Came out of left
unnecessary
field.
in the show.
It was like the last shot. I was like, what the fuck is happening? I mean, like, not that I'm overtly against it, but I was like, from a storytelling perspective, this just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it just seems unnecessary. Yeah, I agree. I hate when they do that, just to like kind of present like a really obvious message. One of the like those things that pops into my mind is like the way Mystique's character was in that last X-Men movie.
Where she died immediately. Dark Phoenix.
Not even like her death. It's like it was one, the fact that her character shouldn't have been fucking with the X-Men to begin with, but like two, like it was like this like line she had where she was like, maybe you should be calling it X women or something like that. And it was like, dude, you're laying it on so fucking thick. Like it takes away from the fucking movie. Like that's not, I don't know. Like
I thought Mystique was interesting in Days of Future Past, and I liked her as the sort of anti-hero that was just out for vengeance, but then ultimately did the right thing.
But they completely took that vengeance away from her.
They completely butchered it. She shouldn't be leading the X-Men.
Yeah. But like, and that was like, but not it. Yeah. I mean, that aside, it was just that like that instance, like amongst other things where it's just like, and you see that with movies a lot in the last few years and now, where like they really try to put these like, and I'm not even disagreeing with these messages, but like they really try to put one message or another in by like inserting a line, having a character say something, or like doing like an obvious draw to something, and it's just like it takes away sometimes from the overall entertainment of the movie when you're just like, yeah dude, like that's very clearly like a politicized message you're saying right now. You know,
I can totally understand it with Legend of Korra. Like this has it's like adults enjoy it. Yeah. But a lot of it's suitable for younger audiences as well. We might as well give a widely accepted message in it.
Well, yeah, for sure.
But it can't be just like on a whim.
Yeah, but then build a storyline around that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Don't just
or rather than doing like a
fucking
wink,
scene
nudge,
at the end.
nudge, right?
Well, exactly, dude. And it's like if it's that important to put in there, then put it in there right. If not, then just don't fuck with it.
I think I saw something about Legend of Korra where it was a bunch of kids in a test audience right before it came out, and like all the girls were like, all these little girls were like, it's super cool, like she's so cool, and then all the boys, the first question that they were asked were like, was it different watching a girl? And they were like, no, it was still really cool. I was like,
dude,
like it's great.
I think people. Sorry, what were you saying? I totally cut you off, my man.
No, I finished my thought. You're good.
I think people still try to pay. I mean, and like pay attention to like things like that a lot when it's becoming more irrelevant. You know, like even when I was growing up, there was still a lot of that whole boys like boy superheroes, girls like girl superheroes. You know,
yeah, fuck that. It's not a thing anymore.
Fuck that, dude. It's all about like. Is she badass? Is he cool? Like I fucking like whatever I like, you know, and I think as it's just with like
especially in the modern day, it's totally disappearing.
Like younger people are becoming adults and getting into the workforce and getting into these positions where they're creating things and stuff. You're starting to see more of that. You know,
and especially with kids, they don't have to be told that it's cool. Like
no, dude, kids.
It's the most pure-hearted thing. It's like they don't have to be told it.
Kids don't give a fuck if you tell them it's cool. Like they'll determine if it's cool for themselves. Like
exactly.
That's like one of the cool things about kids is that they have to be honest. They don't know any better.
Did you ever watch it? I think the movie was called like 43 or something. It was the Jackie Robinson bioflick.
No, I think it's
Chadwick Boseman.
42.
42.
I think that was his number, but
I'm not a big baseball guy. But I watched it. Chadwick Boseman played him. Chadwick Boseman checked the boxes for playing like influential like figures in Black culture.
Fair enough.
in that movie, there's a soul crushing scene where everybody's like yelling, like dropping the N-bomb at him while he's up to bat. And there's this little like white boy in the audience in the gallery watching the game. And he looks like frightened by all of it. And then his dad starts yelling, and he, even still looking apprehensive, starts yelling along with them. It's like that's how kids learn. It's not it's definitely not like something you need to tell them to not be a dick, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like kids pick up on example, and kids pick up on on what's presented to them, like that shit. And like it,
show, don't tell, and also don't force it.
Yeah, don't force. Exactly. Like I think you can't, and you see that like less and less. I think, like with kids these days, you see parents being like giving more freedom for kids to make choices. Not always, but a little more. I mean, like I said, like I remember like when I was growing up, that shit was. They tried to make things like everything seemed like it was supposed to be so cookie cutter, Yeah. Like, anyway, that shit. I mean, so Legend of Korra's Don't. You got anything you're gonna binge watch after that?
Well, Brooklyn Nine-Nine season just wrapped up, so that's tragic. I don't really know, man. We're sort of running out of ideas here.
Just kind of like
be watching stand up.
Oh yeah, there's some. I mean, Netflix has a lot of good stand up specials on there, right? So that's actually kind of cool. I watched what was it, Ronnie Chang's fucking stand up special.
Dude,
he's
like
Ronnie
the course. Fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I heard he got stuck in Australia like right at the beginning of all this, like, which I was like, it's probably not that bad. But his stand up special on there's pretty fucking good. I really want to watch. There's like a Dave Chappelle, like when he got presented with the Mark Twain Award.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of like it's like a compilation of his best moments and stuff.
Yeah, and like some people like speaking, before the presentation and stuff like that. It looked like it might be pretty good.
I saw that come up the other day. I want to watch that.
Nice. Yeah, that's kind of it. I'm just like I've just been like going through and like picking random stuff, and it's just like I'll try this out, and if it doesn't,
maybe let's see if it sticks. Let's throw it at the wall.
It's fucking true, man. It's weird, dude. It's just a lot of time and not a lot going on in terms of like, I'm just so used to like movie news because there's always stuff in production,
But now there's nothing in production.
No, although like, do you know what the release date is for Venom 2 still? Like, is that still coming out? Like,
got delayed.
It got delayed. Of course it did. Andy Serkis helming that fucking movie. What was the name of the title? It's like
Let There Be Carnage.
Yeah, they immediately caught heat for that, I think. Like,
why?
I don't know exactly. It's not like the worst title in the world, but it's really obvious. Like that.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that they'll benefit from as a movie is not shying away from embracing carnage. Like, don't make the villain mysterious. Just put him. Like, make him like a fucking give him an advertising campaign himself, because Carnage is such a popular character.
Make him the next Thanos, dude. Thanos is gone.
That's what I'm saying. Like he really, like, if they want to build some sort of Sony Spider-Verse, make Carnage your big bad, your first big bad.
Yep.
Like,
totally.
No joke.
And hopefully make him stick around. Don't fucking kill him.
That's the thing, dude. If they somehow like kill him off and kill Woody Harrelson off as Carnage stupid. At the end of this movie, you're fucking done. Your fucking Venom series, your Venom 3 ain't gonna fucking happen. You know what I mean?
Where are they gonna go? Like, the director of Venom, the first one, he was like, "Yeah, we got Riot as the bad guy in this one, for the cool gunmetal color palette." Like, sweet, dude. Why the fuck?
Rad.
Wow.
Yeah, but like, I mean, that was the thing. Like, they were lucky that they didn't. They're just lucky that they got popular enough to spawn a sequel off of not having Carnage in the first Venom movie. So, and so now having him in the sequel, they just better not fuck it up.
Yeah,
like,
I saw something about Venom talking about how, like, when it was released, it was critically panned. And then it disappeared from pop culture. And then like 6 months later, everybody was like, it was fine. And then they greenlit a sequel.
Yeah.
But before that, it made $1 billion. So,
Yeah, it definitely was like a very, like, it wasn't a very hyped movie. Like, I remember it was like I was hyped about it at first, and then like I just lost steam on the whole fucking
Tom
thing.
Hardy's a fucking gift. So like,
Yeah, and that was like the benefit for it was this like it was a lot riding on Tom Hardy's like acting ability. Like everybody was just like, oh shit, Tom Hardy's attached to it. Like that's gonna be fucking good.
you got to fucking go for it.
Yeah. And that's kind of how I feel about this sequel, though. It's just like, oh shit, Woody Harrelson's gonna be playing Carnage. Fucking brilliant.
Yeah, they got it. They can fucking do it. They're bringing Vulture back already. They got Keaton still for that.
Yeah.
The only bad spot they got here is Jared Leto playing fucking Morbius.
Yeah, and I just saw some random thing from I completely forgot about this. Tyrese Gibson is in that movie. Is cast in that movie.
Yeah.
He's cast as like I have no fucking idea, but he's cast as the villain apparently.
He has a robot arm. He has like a robot arm.
Yeah. And I saw something where he was talking about like I've done superhero like movies before, but I ain't never done like superhero movies. I'm just like, Tyrese,
what the fuck is a superhero like movie? You're in Fast and Furious.
Yeah, and you're gonna be in a Jared Leto's fucking vampire movie. It's not gonna be like, I'm sorry, bud, you're not gonna be, you're not gonna have future superhero movies either.
Did you
like,
I don't know if I mentioned this on a previous podcast, but did you hear the shit from Jared Leto when he got back from his meditation?
No, what?
When like the COVID-19 crisis started, he was in the middle of the desert on like a meditation retreat. And he posted on Twitter, he was like, interesting to return from my month-long meditation retreat to find the world completely changed. Peace to all you, my friends. Hope you're doing well. I was like, go fuck yourself, man. Dude, we're a month into this shit.
Get off of the peyote before you fucking put things online.
Tell that to our president too. Good God.
Dude, oh my God, man.
Matinee edition, not hot take edition. Hopefully that's not a hot take.
That's a whole thing though. I bet that there will be some really interesting satire comics that come out of this presidency.
Dude, MODOK. Or MOTOK. Wasn't that it?
Yeah.
Did you see that shit?
I know what you're referencing. Yeah.
For those that don't know, MODOK is a giant head that's a villain in the Marvel comics.
Yeah.
And they made MOTOK, who is just Trump, as a giant head that's evil in Marvel comics.
Pretty fucking much, dude. It's just insane. Yeah, man. I don't know. I keep wondering like when things are gonna start easing up, but it's like as soon as I have those thoughts, I'm like, oh man, like just because I selfishly like want to go see a movie in the theater or something, I'm like, man,
yeah.
Like when is shit safe to
we gotta
start
go to the
opening
drive-in.
up? You know what I mean?
We gotta go to the drive-in.
That's it, dude. There's still one up in Shelton.
Yeah,
over here, dude.
I would drive out to Shelton. It's like 20 minutes further for me here.
Yeah, dude. It's a decent drive-in, man.
It's not bad. I want to watch The Force Awakens there.
Nice. I saw. I saw Dark Phoenix there actually, and we were gonna see the Godzilla sequel, but it was like that movie was the second movie in the double feature, and so nobody fucking stayed up for it. Everybody was like, we're all too tired. Speaking of though, dude, Godzilla and King Kong, Godzilla versus King Kong, that movie's still like in the works, man.
They can at least have the CGI guys working on it still.
I'm excited about it. It'll be absurd.
I need to watch. I still need to watch Skull Island. I need to watch the new Godzilla.
Yeah, that one with Bryan Cranston was kind of cool.
Fine,
but it really wasn't like.
You know what really threw me?
It was really King of the Monsters that you want to watch, dude. That one's fucking dope, actually.
You know what really threw me for a loop about the first Godzilla movie?
What?
Watching that shit and seeing Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch fucking, and then a year later watching Avengers and Ultron.
My God.
And I was like, oh no, they're siblings. Why?
Oh shit.
Whatever, Aaron Taylor Johnson, whoever the fuck Quicksilver was.
Dude,
he's such a mediocre actor.
He really is. There's nothing that special about that cat.
He's like the dude who was the lead in Avatar, the blue people.
Oh, he's what's that guy's name? Sam Worthington, right?
Yeah, Sam Worthington. Yeah. Just like where's the charisma?
People cast Sam Worthington when they couldn't get Tom Hardy. And
that's fair.
And like
he's discount Australia. Wait, Tom Hardy British or Australian? British.
Yeah, he's British. Sam Worthington's Australian, actually.
Dude, it's hilarious watching Avatar and hearing his Australian accent slip out.
Well, the only other thing I saw that cat in was like that Terminator Salvation movie.
Garbo.
That movie was not. I mean, like it's not. It's like it's garbage for a Terminator movie for sure, but it's not like the worst movie. I think I'd still watch that more than like another Transformers movie. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. Once some of those franchises go
Dude,
too far, they go too
watch
far.
Transformers.
That could be a whole bonus feature series, dude. Like going through the Transformers movies one at a time.
What are we looking at on time? We're like getting near an hour here, right?
Yeah, we are. We should probably call it.
Here, so we'll plug a few things. First off, for those few listeners that might be willing to contribute something, we're gonna be setting up a Patreon soon.
Indeed.
Along with our new website, we're gonna put those up in the near future.
Yeah.
For once, if anybody hops on that, we'll be doing bonus episodes. Probably once. We'll try for like once every other week or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're still sussing it out, but we're getting that set up. The Patreon, the website. I'm just working on getting all of these past podcasts uploaded onto YouTube, so if it's more accessible for people, they can hop on YouTube and look it up.
Yeah, whatever works.
Old Heart Radio. You're planning on doing a new Intune soon, correct?
So I've restructured Intune. If you've been listening for a while, you've heard Avi on an episode of Local Yokels.
Yeah.
He's going to be my co-host.
Nice.
He's bouncing off we have very different tastes in music, but we're good friends. So we're going to be just bouncing some ideas off each other musically, and just going to end up recording maybe once a week or so, talking about what we liked from the last week.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
We'll be recording that soon, putting it out.
Nice. Some new Intune to look forward to. I'm recording another Local Yokels with Brandon Silva soon.
Yeah, that was a good episode, man.
Thanks. Yeah, he's an interesting individual. That was like literally like the first real conversation I had with him. So it'll be interesting to have another one. But yeah, other than that, I mean, what we got anything else coming on the horizon?
I mean, I don't think anybody has anything else coming on the horizon for now.
Nah. Just more of the same. We'll just keep churning out random podcasts.
Yeah. We were talking about doing a show where we just shoot the shit with and try to get like a couple, maybe 2 more people on like this. Yeah. That I mean, maybe eventually.
Yeah, it's all about getting people into it. That's what I actually recently did a catch-up episode of Coffee and Contemplation. And I talked about that, like how this is a project made and built for other people's involvement. That's kind of
it's meant to be shared. You can have the base few people, but then enough if you like, listener, do you have a set of Apple earbuds that have a mic on them?
Exactly.
Shoot us a message on Instagram if you got some interesting stuff you want to talk about. We'll do it.
Exactly. And so the more we grow, the bigger the bigger we grow, the better we can like interact with people, and that's kind of how we're going, man. It's really interesting, and that's honestly because people are listening. So thank you, Hot Dogs. You are fucking amazing.
And if you want to find us anywhere else, go on Instagram at Old Heart Radio, Twitter Old Heart Space.
Yeah, Old Heart Space. Everything else is on Spotify and iTunes and iHeartRadio,
and now on YouTube.
And now featuring YouTubes.
Whoa!
That being said, I guess we'll just fucking wrap it up because we have to, because soon.
Right.
I'm Jared.
It's been Lucas.
Man. I hope you all are doing well, staying safe, keeping your paws clean. Thanks
cover
for
your face.
Yeah, cover your fucking face.
You hot dog.
Peace.